Hello friends, and welcome back to another Java tutorial. Today we're diving into one of the most fundamental building blocks of programming, the Boolean data type. If you want to write programs that make decisions, control flow, and actually respond to conditions in the real world, then this lesson is non-negotiable. Without a solid grasp of Booleans, your code will either do nothing or do everything at the wrong time, and we don't want that. So stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll not only know what Booleans are, but you'll also see how they become the brains of decision-making in your Java programs. Section 1. What is a Boolean data type? Let's start with the basics. A Boolean is the simplest possible data type in Java. It can only hold two values, true or false. That's it. Think of Booleans as yes or no switches in your program. They are either on, true, or off, false. And that simple on/off power is what allows you to tell your program what to do in different situations. In Java, we declare a Boolean using the Boolean keyword. For example, we might write Boolean C, and then we can assign it a value of true or false. Here's something important: the size of a Boolean in memory is not strictly defined by the Java specification. It's actually up to the Java Virtual Machine, JVM, to decide how much space it takes. This means you don't really worry about memory size when working with Booleans, you just use them. Section 2. Initializing Boolean variables. Now let's initialize some Booleans to see how they behave. Imagine we have two Boolean variables. Boolean b1 equals true, Boolean b2 equals false. Pretty straightforward, right? But Booleans get really interesting when you assign them the result of an expression. For example, Boolean b3 equals 2 less than 3. Here we are using the less than operator, less than. The expression 2 less than 3 evaluates to true, so b3 will store the value true. And if we write Boolean b4 equals 2 greater than 3, this time, the expression 2 greater than 3 evaluates to false, because 2 is obviously not greater than 3. If we were to print all four variables, we would see b1 true, b2 false, b3 true, because 2 is less than 3 before false, because 2 is not greater than 3. This is how Booleans start interacting with conditions, and that's where the power of programming really kicks in. Section 3. Why use Booleans? You might be wondering, why do we even need Booleans? Because they let us make decisions in code. Here's a simple example. Let's create a Boolean variable named is alive. Boolean is alive equals true. It's a good practice to name Boolean variables in a way that makes them easy to read as yes/no questions, like is found, is empty, is visible. For instance, is found equals true means we found the element we were searching for. Is empty equals false means the thing we're checking is not empty. This naming style makes your code much easier to read and understand. Section 4. Using Booleans with conditions. Now, here's where things get exciting. Let's use our isAlive variable to control the flow of our program. Instead of just printing it directly, we'll use an if statement. If is alive, system.out.println alive. Else, system.out.println not alive. What's happening here? The if statement checks the value of is alive. If is alive is true, the first block runs and prints alive. If is alive is false, the else block runs and prints not alive. This is the first real taste of how Boolean logic controls which parts of your code run and which parts get skipped. If we change is alive to false and run the program again, we'll get not alive as the output. Section 5. The big picture, why this matters. Booleans may look simple, just true or false, but they are the foundation of all decision-making in programming. Every if statement, every while loop, every comparison you'll ever make in Java boils down to one thing: a Boolean result. Without Booleans, your program wouldn't be able to decide whether a user is logged in or not, check if there's enough money in a bank account before processing a transaction, stop looping when a certain condition is met. Booleans are what make your code smart, not just a set of instructions running blindly. So let's recap. A Boolean in Java can hold true or false. You can assign it directly or let it store the result of a comparison like 2 less than 3. Booleans are incredibly important because they let your programs make decisions. And when combined with if statements, they give you full control over the flow of your code. If you're serious about becoming a Java developer, this is not just theory, this is a skill you'll use every single day. The sooner you get comfortable with Booleans, the faster you'll be able to write programs that actually think. In upcoming lessons, we'll go much deeper into if statements, logical operators, and complex conditions, so you can start building real-world applications that respond intelligently to any situation. Thanks for watching, and if you found this helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next video.